Hello, hello. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Knuckles Presents Nani episode. This is an episode we're currently watching right now. Just like in the Farmageddon thing, due to me being behind on some episodes, this video is gonna be with three videos. This is gonna be Blue Exorcist, the Blue Night Saga. As we're actually done with the season right there, I'm gonna be talking about gonna be episode talking about 10, 11, and 12. They're at 10, 11, and 12 right there. Last episode I did was episode 9. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So yes, it's like three episodes. These last three episodes right there, and basically episode 10 pretty much leaves over episode 9 is where Yuri, uh, I want to say finally said like like I'm happy she's dead now, but it's like it finally happened. Like so we knew that Yuri was gonna die. It's like how was she gonna die? And honestly, I'm glad she died like a not a painful death. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm happy that it wasn't not Lucifer that sitting and kill her like a hard death right there. She just died from giving birth right there, and we saw that monster attack Ashura right there. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, Shira's gonna get ready to die right there. Like I'm thinking to myself, dang, does Ren do the time paradox and actually go in and stop the monster right there? No, he just thought younger is saying that, sitting together makes you feel warm right there. He had energy to wake up and actually, do shoot like the shadow demon on the beast and kill him right there. Actually pretty cool right there, What he looked he was on the bridge of death right there. Like sure was gonna die right there, but he was able to stop it just in time right there. Now with Lucifer not having well, I say Lucifer sitting and having a buy right there, he was going through Section 13, killing people, subjects, and everything. No, it's not him. The Lucifer. Why? Yeah, I was right. Lucifer is actually destroying everything right there. Like his body was just just dying. We know his body was dying right there. It just was just not work out for him right there. It's like killing those people right there. Almost killing the kids right there because Rick is like, what the hell's going on right there, right? Rick was it Lucifer that killed Rick? Yeah, yeah. Was it can't remember. Yeah, it was Lucifer that killed Rick right there. Like listen, Lucifer is just going on a rampage right there, and Nephilim had to like I forgot her name right there, but she had to calm him down right there. Like she had to calm the guy down right there because he was just going on a rampage destruction right there because couldn't find a body. His dad is not dead, but like not around right there, things were just not holding well for Lucifer right there. And this episode right here was like, pretty much everything that how everything was like kind of added into, to the current events right there. That one guy, I forgot his name, having his origin story right there. Kodahama and his family had it came into be up until now right there. I said this is basically, just building up with everybody right there. I forgot the other guy's name. His name is the guy that's a spy right there. I forgot his name, but we all see him, have a little bit that, that shadow beast that he cast right there with his magic right there. Like, listen, everything is pretty much built up to this right there. And you know, as we know, Shiro, takes the kids right there. But in the next episode right there, we're in the underworld right there. Satan being a piece of shit right there, kills, this body of Yuri right there. Well, dead body right there. She's dead. I mean, she's not really. She doesn't really have a body right there. But, he's still not forgiving her for what he did. And then Mephisto is offering two of your sons. One of your son has like your parents right there. I can train him to be I can train him, raise him. Eventually you can have his body. But Lucifer is like, well, your other son, he doesn't have the demon traits just yet, but like I can make him to be to a fine warrior right there, and he'll be your new body right there. So pretty much Lucifer and Mephisto are offering Satan, his son as their bias right there. So it's like, yo, whoever give me a better body wins, but don't take too long right there because if y'all take too long, I'll take my into my own hands right there, and that's scary film right there. But Shiro is raising, is raising his kids right there. It was beautiful to see right there, like the angry. Well, he's not young anymore. He's older right there, but like that angry punk right there, just coming into a changed man. Is becoming into a changed man with these kids right there, and it was a beautiful thing to see. But also, another quote that you got from Yuri is that sure, if you lean on other people, if you lean on other people, you can get them to help you too. And, he has and Shiro has some of his followers help him out right there. So it was cool to see, people helping him right there. Even though he probably thought he probably didn't deserve it right there because he thought he was a monster himself, but it's still nice to see, the others, help him out in this time of need right there. And then the final episode was basically like, almost like things that we saw from like episode one and things we saw from like, in Ren's past, where it's like, we see that Shiro's, is raising, Ren and Yukio. He tells Ren, hey, be sure to protect, your brother right there, right? And we see how, when everybody would mess with Yukio right there, Ren would just, be like, well, push, like beat the shit out of him right there, and that's where everything like, oh, he's a monster, he's a monster, right? And Ren is the older brother, but not by a whole lot. Like he was like only like maybe like what 30 minutes. So it's like the way how they say he's a younger brother. I'm like, okay, so a couple years. No, like they were born on the same day. It's just that Yuri was after. So technically they're the same age when you really think about it. But due to the time wise, Ren is your brother right there, right? But as they're younger, Yukio is able to see, spirits right there, and they get scared, right? Now, yes, Shiro told Ren to protect Yukio, right? But then, um, Shiro tells Yuko, don't you want to protect your brother as well? And I know you're getting tired of being scared right there, right? So why don't you train with me, right? Why don't you train with me so you can protect your brother, right? And that's how we start seeing how, your Yukio doesn't like it when people try to protect him. Right? Like, no, I'm trying to protect you right there. I should be protecting you right there. That's where his bit of his attitude came from right there. But we see that Yukio, was being trained by his dad, to become a demon exorcist right there. So obviously, that Yukio, was a demon exorcist at an early age right there. But while this is going on right there, Shiro is still like, hearing thoughts of Satan be like, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before I show up and actually, I take over my body and actually get my kids. But he does so Shiro's like, oh, it's not you that I want. I want my sons. And we saw in the first episode how, it was Satan that was trying to get, Ren's body. And also remember, they had a bit of an argument right there. It's like, dang, so I'm a monster right there. You're lying to me and stuff like that. You kicked me out. Well, yeah, this on the third. They had an argument, and next thing you know, that's when Sadie comes in, and it was kind of like Ren's like final moments with his dad right there. Now, Grant, obviously, Shiro says those are my sons. You're not taking them from me right there. Shiro, like in a way, his sacrifice himself because remember, this wasn't the first time where Sadie had some control over Shiro's body. He had a healer from that time. This time he doesn't. So like him damage his body right there, he was gone for good. And Rennick leaves, he's like, like that was gonna be a heartbreak for him seeing his dad die again right there. And like Mephisto said, this is gonna end in travesty right there, right? And it's like, well, what do you want to do now? You found your answers. What do you want to do with yourself right there? So Ren opens the door and he sees Shiro again, right? And I thought this probably the best part of the episode right there was having Ren talk to his dad because obviously sure didn't know who the guy was or probably didn't know who he was, but he made him a little bit some rice cakes and he told him Ren asked him you know it's a lot of work being a dad right there. You know he says I don't know what the right choice is. Yeah, he said it's difficult right there. And he says, you know, I'm trying to protect these boys. I want these guys to protect each other right there. Yukio wants to protect his brother. Ren can be a bit too hot headed at times right there, but I still love these guys. And he says, I don't know what the right choice is, but when I see them, I don't worry. I don't know what the right choice is, but when I see these guys, I don't worry. So like he's always happy seeing his sons right there. And remember, Ren was like, "Oh, never should have been born, never should have been born." But hearing those words, meant a lot to him. And he's like, "You know what? Thank you." He leaves, but as before he leaves, right there, he says, "Thanks, Dad." And Shiro probably didn't know that was Ren. He probably didn't know that was Ren. He just didn't want to say it right there. But I mean, Also, too, he kind of that was almost like that could have been a time paradox right there. That could have maybe, but I just feel in hearing those last words from Shiro meant a lot to Ray. Now it's like I'm gonna live and I'm gonna protect my family right there. I want to protect my brother. Our mom wanted us to to watch for one another, and I'm gonna do that. And the episode ends with Red opening the door to his brother, seeing Yukio. The blue flame coming out of his eye right there. It ends with like that. So I think this series does come back in the fall, I believe, right there. So that was people want to call it season 5. I just call season 4 part 1, and part 2 is later within the year right there. So like I said, nice ending to the series right there, to the season at least. Now I'm gonna go more in depth about this on the season 4 part 1 season 5 recap. I don't know. I don't know what people call this season 5 season 4. I don't know. Like that's I don't know. But like I said, it was nice ending right there. Like I said, that was a nice conversation that Ren and Shira had right there, and it touched my heart. It did. But like I said, the not episode, the season discussion will be coming soon. Let me say about this episode right there. These 3 episodes that were kind of like the same in a way. They kind of felt like the same to me, honestly. But well, actually, 11 and 12 more so. But yeah. But as always, folks, subscribe to Party Douglas family. Thumbs up if you like the video. Comment if you like the video. Share, subscribe, follow my social media accounts, all that good stuff. And remember what J. Cole said: there is no such thing as a life better than yours. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.